Good morning, everybody. I can see we've got a few of you that are coming in now. Welcome to our Wednesday webinar session today, where we're going to be hearing about the beautiful Emerald collection in the Maldives, the Emerald Maldives Resort and Spa property, and the Emerald Faarufushi Resort and Spa property in the Maldives. And we're joined today by Scott, who's the UK sales manager, who's going to take us through the presentations today. If anyone has any questions throughout, please always feel free to ask in the Q&A box, and we'll do a little session at the end with Scott, and I'll ask him some of the questions that you've asked. And if anyone has any problems hearing or seeing anything, then yeah, please let me know. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Scott now to take us through the Emerald Maldives Resort and Spa.
Thanks. Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, everyone. Really appreciate you joining us. It's a delight to be involved. I've been working or representing Emerald now for 5 years in the UK. Emerald was opened in 2019, and it is a 5-star deluxe all-inclusive. So it's the only board basis we offer on the resort, and it's a proud member of Leading Hotels of the World. So we have that stamp of service and authority. The property is located in the Raa Atoll, which is slightly north of Male International. It's effectively a 35-minute seaplane right directly to the resort. Otherwise, guests can take a domestic transfer up to Ifaru, and then we'll collect the guests by speedboat. So relatively easy to get to. Obviously, it's a beautiful experience to take the seaplane, and you're flying and landing directly in front of the resort. So the property as you arrive is a beautiful natural island. It's 28 hectares, so it will be considered to be a mid-sized property in the Maldives. It takes about 40 minutes to walk around the beach, but all guests have bicycles, and that takes about 10 minutes to cycle around the resort. As you see the property, it's natural. It's 360 lagoon, and then we have a house reef that runs from the back of the resort here, about 1.7 kilometers all the way down the side of the property. So it's perfect for snorkeling and for diving. The property has 60 villas on the beach and 60 villas over the ocean connected by this jetty. So it's the perfect balance of beach and water. And just in front of us on this picture, you can see the beach club, which we'll come on to now. The seaplane lands just here, and it comes directly into our channel. And guests depart directly from a floating platform, and then they're taken to their villa by buggy, and they're introduced to their butler. So it's a wonderful arrival experience. It's very green and dense, and is a beautiful place to arrive to. In terms of the property, we start with the beach club area. Most guests after breakfast tend to head here. They've obviously got sun lounges for sun, and then lots of shaded cabanas, depending on how you feel that day. And the pool is a nice, refreshing place to sit with a cocktail and escape the hot sun in the Maldives. The beach here is enormous, and there's piped music going through, and obviously a poolside service for drinks. So it's a great place to relax and enjoy. We move through into some of the interior of the resort. You can see the bicycles that every guest is provided with. Has the fat tires. It's really easy to cycle on the sand, and really good addition for exploring the resort. In terms of the villas, I mentioned we have 60 on the beach. You can see that they're quite large, and they all have this private setup with the deck, the pool, the beach, and then straight to the ocean. And there's a lot of privacy here. So when you're in your garden, you've got the sun lounges on the deck. You've also got a little table to sit and enjoy a snack or a drink. And then sun lounges further down the garden just before you get to the beach and the ocean. The rooms themselves are 140 square meters, so they're really generous in terms of size. I love the blackout blinds for sleeping, and this really handy sofa here that can be turned into a bed. So if you've got 2 adults and a child, it's perfect. We'll turn this into an actual bed. It's very wide. It's as wide as a single bed. And obviously the window blind comes down as well. So very spacious, very modern, definitely great aircon, about 500 movies on the TV there to watch as well. And as we move into the next picture, you can see that all the villas have mini bars tea and coffee. And those mini bars are replenished every 24 hours. They have soft drinks, snacks, and alcoholic beverages. So that's a really generous offering there. And to have it replenished every 24 hours is a great opportunity to enjoy and relax in your holiday. We've moved from the beach villa to the beach villa with pool. The pool sits just in front of the deck there. And you can see the space and the size, very modern and very comfortable. As we show a shot from the villa, you've got this bamboo with natural straw, and that gives a bit of shade on the deck. And you can see that view, that perfect view from the villa to the deck, to the pool, to the beach, to the oceans. So, and lots of privacy here with the greenery, so you can enjoy. And then the bathrooms, which are always greeted with a wow. They're enormous. They're white marble, couples vanity, sorry. Roll top bath. Then you've got the indoor shower and the outdoor shower, which is perfect for that sunset. Great outdoor shower opportunity. And then moving through into the family beach pool villas. These are really popular in the UK. We've got 20 of these on resort, and their parents' bedroom, and right next door is the children's bedroom, which is 2 queen-size beds. So it's perfect for 2 adults and 3 children. Either we can put a rollaway in the second bedroom, or one of the children can sleep on the bed, as I've already discussed. We've got a large deck outside this villa and a much larger pool. And the price of this is typically the price of 2 villas. So it's not too expensive, and it offers great value for families. Both bedrooms have their own bathrooms, and obviously everyone's included. So it's a really great opportunity. And these are very popular through the school holidays. We also have Superior Beach. These are 1-bedroom suites. So effectively the bedroom next door has a living room. Great for honeymooners if they've got slightly more budget, give them more space, and obviously a place to relax. And over the pool there, you have this day bed that's suspended, which is a lovely romantic opportunity over the pool. We've also got 1 suite on the beach, which is the Royal Beach Villa. It's a 3-bedroom villa. So the master bedroom sits upstairs, has its own private massage area and a huge jacuzzi bath. And then downstairs, we've got 2 separate bedrooms and a swim-in, swim-out pool. So, and a big living space as well, actually. And there's a shutter that comes down here at night to stop the wind coming through. So this is a wonderful opportunity if you've got somebody, well, even with 8 or 9 guests who has a good budget and wants everybody to stay in the same villa. It's a really affordable opportunity with that many guests. Over the water now, you can see that the villas on the bottom of the jetty have swimming pools. The ones on the top have the reef. The reef just sits here. So we've got water villas and then water villas with pool. Similar decor, although a bit more blue rather than orange over the ocean, obviously directly out to your deck and then steps down into the ocean. The bathroom sits just alongside that bedroom, equally as impressive. And then you have a netting that sits here on the deck with lazy boys that you can sit and relax and look at the fish down below. So very modern. The resort's relatively new in comparison and very fresh. And then obviously with the pool, it sits off the deck here. And that gives you the option between salt water and pool water. Another shot of those bathrooms with a couple sat out on their net. And moving through into the 1-bedroom suite, which is similar to the beach, you have the bedroom and the living room next door, and the jacuzzi bath. And then as we move through just to the end of that jetty, there is a 2-bedroom option called the Presidential Water Villa. It's obviously much bigger. It has 2 king-size bedrooms either side, a big living space, and then swim-in, swim-out pool. This villa faces sunset, so it's perfect maybe for a couple with older children. Maybe a big celebration here. It's a great place to celebrate, and it faces sunset, so it's brilliant. As we move around the resort, there are different areas where you can sit and relax and obviously explore on your bicycle. And there are 4 restaurants at Emerald Maldives, and they're all included. So I think one of the reasons why we're number 3 on TripAdvisor in the whole Maldives is that guests go with a certain expectation, and they're really blown away by the generosity of these resorts. We're talking about 120 wines on the wine menu. A sommelier is going to come and help you pair that with your meal, and then you can have 2 bottles or 3 bottles if you're feeling really thirsty. And certainly for breakfast at Aqua, there is champagne on the buffet. It's an indoor cooking station restaurant, but crucially there is space outdoors here and facing the beach. Then for lunch in Aqua, this is all day dining. So lunch in Aqua, you can grab pasta or salads or pizza or grilled items. And because it's a buffet style, it's very quick. So if you fancy a quick bite to eat over lunch, this is a great place to stop on your bicycle and obviously, take a table inside or outside. And then for dinner, when it's dark, it's obviously much more romantic. It is buffet, but it does have an a la carte menu. So for breakfast, you can have eggs Benedict brought to your table, freshly squeezed juice, Italian coffee. And then obviously lunch and dinner is the same. So Aqua is all day dining. And then we move through into the beach club, which is just lunch and dinner, but it's right by the swimming pool. So gentlemen can just throw on a t-shirt and sit with their feet in the sand. Ladies would probably put on a sort of summer dress, and you can sit and relax in the sunshine or in the shade. It's an open kitchen here with the chefs preparing behind you. Think fresh fish, great salads, great grilled items and pizza. And obviously rosé. If you'd like rosé, there's lots of wine on the menu, and you can really relax and enjoy. And the generosity is really from when you leave the table. There isn't really a bill to sign, so it's guilt-free. You're really enjoying the all-inclusive experience to the max. And this resort is only all-inclusive, so everyone is in the same mindset, and everyone is enjoying that generosity together. It gives a great atmosphere. And everyone's appreciating that offering. In terms of the 2 dining restaurants only, the Asiatique is Tastes of Asia. It has 2 teppanyaki grills, which are also included in the all-inclusive. And there are tables each side of this beautiful waterway here. And it's beautiful for a dining experience, definitely at least once during your stay. There aren't restrictions, so if you want to book, you can book on the app in the App Store, which is Emerald Maldives. You can ask your customer to book their restaurants and their preferences on the app. Otherwise, you can email it through to Hummingbird, and they will make sure your guest is looked after when they arrive. The final dining restaurant is Amazonico. That's in the jungle of the resort, and it's a churrascaria style experience. So the meat is brought to you and prepared at your table or carved at your table. And there are a number of starters in the middle of the restaurant. I love it. It's feet in the sand, so I didn't feel like I needed to wear shoes. And the atmosphere in the jungle brings a lovely energy. And obviously there the wine list is available, and you can enjoy. Most of the restaurants after dinner then move through to the Sunset Pool Cafe. We do have music through the restaurants. There is a band that moves through the restaurants during the evening, and then they finish in the cafe. There's space outside on the beach, obviously. And then indoors, we have a bar area with sand inside. And that's premium spirits, Grey Goose, Johnny Walker Black Label, and Bombay Sapphire. So the cocktails are free flowing, and you can enjoy as much as you'd like. And we sometimes have a DJ there as well. So we get into a little bit of a party mode in the bar on certain nights of the week. We're moving through back into the beach club. Obviously, we've seen that already, but there's big space there, and it gives you the chance to enjoy the ocean and any water sports available. We have large kids club at Emerald Maldives, a huge space indoors and outdoors, and that gives you the chance to let the children enjoy and meet other children, but also then have that WhatsApp with the staff that work in the kids club to check on them and make sure they're okay. And they do lots of activities during the day, nature hunts and swimming events, and that allows us to make them disappear. In terms of the spa, we have a large spa at Emerald Maldives. It's a Thai temple spa. There is a cost to that, but it's well worth doing once during your stay for the ultimate relaxation. And then after you've eaten and drunk so much, the gym is complimentary, so you can do some activities in there. And we also have this great area outdoors with tennis, paddle, and a soccer pitch. So that tends to get busy about 4 o'clock when all the kids are dragging their parents on to have activities just before dinner. So there's a really good atmosphere around there. And again, everything is complimentary. So lots going on. I mentioned the house reef. We provide snorkeling equipment. Snorkeling equipment complimentary. And we have a dive center as well if you'd like to rent tanks or take lessons with Paddy. But we have a really vibrant reef that runs all the way down the side of the property. So easy to access and easy to see. Water sports is available. We have non-motorized. It's all complimentary. Kayaks, stand-up paddle. You can take those as much as you want. Motorized jet ski is $100 for 20 minutes. It's a great $100 to spend. It's a wonderful experience, obviously in the Maldives. So that's Emerald Maldives, Olivia. I hope that gives enough of an insight to villas, restaurants, and activities available on resort. And now if you'll allow me to move straight on to Emerald Faarufushi, I can do that right now as well.
Perfect. That sounds great. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Olivia. Emerald Faarufushi was opened in 2022, actually, and we found the most beautiful small resort. This is only 7 hectares in terms of size, and it gives a great complement to Emerald Maldives. Crucially, it's only 30 minutes away from Emerald Maldives by speedboat. So we have this wonderful opportunity, Olivia, for your agents to offer a twin center experience. And from Emerald Maldives, as long as your guests are staying more than 8 nights combined between the 2 properties, then they can enjoy a complimentary speedboat transfer between both resorts. That's obviously our boat and it's our staff. So it's a seamless excursion from one of the resorts to the other. And, even if you're staying just 2 nights at Emerald Maldives and then moving to Faarufushi for 6, that speedboat is included. That gives you a twin center. It gives you the chance to see a large island in Emerald Maldives and a smaller island in Emerald Faarufushi. And potentially, if you've got a guest on the line who doesn't necessarily want to stay in the same resort for 10 nights, he's worried about Groundhog Day and being bored, this will allow you to offer 5 nights at each resort and give them the opportunity to see two different styles of property, but crucially under the same brand, under leading hotels of the world, and all inclusive on both properties. So it's exactly the same concept. It's only premium all inclusive with that huge wine list, those mini bars, and that stress-free enjoyment of the Maldives. Obviously, it's a slightly longer seaplane from Emerald Maldives, about 5 minutes longer, about 40 minutes to seaplane from Male. Otherwise, the domestic transfer is to Ifaru, and again, we would collect your guests by boat. As we enter into the property, it speaks for itself. It's 5-star, leading hotels of the world. It's a beautiful little gem, and crucially, we're #1 on TripAdvisor in the whole Maldives. So I think that goes to show that people go there with a certain expectation, and that we're able to over-deliver on that expectation with the quality and the style of the property, but the generosity of that all-inclusive. The villas are on the beach and over the ocean. We have 80 villas on this property, so it's 40 villas smaller than Emerald Maldives, but we have a great mix of beach villas and water villas. All the over-the-ocean villas have their own private pool, and they have this lovely shallow staircase that allows you to enter the ocean. You can see a large deck here, which spreads all the way around the outside of that water villa, and the pool sits just in front. Inside the villas, they're slightly more, I would say, Maldivian in style compared to Emerald Maldives, not quite as modern, but they have great space, and the pools are right on the beach. So you get a little bit more view from that pool that you do at Emerald Maldives. But they're being really well received, and we're running a great occupancy thanks to your support. And we're really proud and humbled to be #1 on TripAdvisor in the whole Maldives. So on the beach we have 38 villas. 10 of those are beach villa without pool. We've then got 20 beach villas with their pool. And we also have 7 family beach pool villas. So that means that whilst this is a smaller resort, we can also cater for families very well. We have a kids club, we have tennis, we have paddle, and we have a lot of activities for children. But the reason I love this for children is because it's a 360-degree resort with a very shallow lagoon and a house reef that runs all the way around it. So the diving is spectacular. But when you've got smaller children, you can really relax because they can play and paddle on the beach. It's very shallow, zero entry, and there's nothing to make you worry about them paddling all the way around this resort. So you see some beautiful images there. We've obviously got beach villa with pool here, with the pool sat at the end. Bathrooms, which have an open area at the back as well with open showers. And then we've also got one presidential villa, which is a 2-bedroom villa on the beach there. So that's great. 38 villas on the beach. And then we move to 42 villas over the ocean. So all of them have pools. You can see that some of those are sunrise view and some are sunset. And you can see that they're all perfectly appointed there throughout the lagoon. Great views, great pool. The sun lounges are actually inside the pool, which is kind of quirky, but also great to refresh and great to sunbathe. In terms of restaurants on Emerald Faarufushi, we have 5 restaurants. So we've got, for a smaller resort, we're lucky to have 5. We've got the main restaurant, Aqua, which is all-day dining. There's a picture of that just here. It's indoor-outdoor space, breakfast, lunch, and dinner in Aqua. We then also have the beach club, very similar to Emerald Maldives, which is open for lunch and dinner. We have a dining-only carnivorous restaurant, churrascaria style. We have the Asian restaurant with the teppanyaki grill, Les Asiatiques. So very similar in those 4 restaurants to the first resort. But we also have an over-the-ocean restaurant, which is Mediterranean. That sits on a jetty over the ocean. It also has a sunset bar that you can head for an aperitif before dinner, watch the sunset, and then just wander back a few yards to take your table at Mediterranean. Crucially, all these restaurants face the ocean on Emerald Faarufushi, and we have, a very generous food and beverage offering with that huge wine menu and all those premium spirits, and that's all included. So minibar experience as well. So a few other features. Obviously, we can set up destination dining if there's a special occasion. We have this beautiful spa that sits above the trees, and they're in these couples treatment rooms that look like upside down boats. So really quirky to walk amongst the trees and head in for a treatment. It's an amazing spa at Emerald Faarufushi. Here you can see a picture of that and what that treatment room looks like. There is an additional cost to the spa, but definitely worth doing at least once during your stay for the ultimate relaxation. I mentioned the kids club. We do have a kids club on property. It's a little bit smaller than Emerald Maldives, but it's perfectly functioning. And just these amazing beach walks with the family and this incredible lagoon. And the reef just sits off in every direction. It's 360-degree reef. We have a gymnasium, complimentary, and we've got that water sports. Stand-up paddle is amazing to do here on this property. And of course, you can rent motorized as well, if you'd like. The great shot here of the sunset pool. So this is during the day, you can set up with sun or in a cabana just behind it. We can serve you cocktails throughout the day. It's just the perfect place to enjoy that all-inclusive experience. So that is a great summary of both properties, Olivia. I hope I've done okay on time and it leaves us time to answer any questions.
Yes,
certainly warming me up this morning, looking at pictures of the Maldives.
I know. I wish we were there.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much, Scott. Sorry, we do have a few questions.
Right.
So the first one is, are there activities and spa included in the all-inclusive packages? And are there any dining options that are not included? Dining items that are not included, sorry.
So on the first part, all the activities are included. In fact, one of the things I should have mentioned, that if your guest is staying for 7 nights, minimum 7 nights in either resort or a combination of both, there is a complimentary excursion, and that is typically it's always a boat, and it leaves at 5 o'clock. We either offer handline fishing, a sunset cruise, or a dolphin cruise, and that is included once during your stay. If a guest is staying 10 nights or more, then they're allowed to enjoy 2 excursions, complimentary. Now, the activities are included. The non-motorized water sports I already mentioned, the gym, the kids club is included, tennis and paddle is included. So most of the activities on the resort are included, Olivia. Obviously, if you want to pay for motorized water sports, or you want to do something with PADI, something with tank diving, then there is a surcharge to that. But everything else is included. Does that answer that question, Olivia?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Right. And then there are a couple of items on the food and beverage menu. There is Wagyu beef and lobster, and there are a couple of champagnes and a couple of red wines that are chargeable as a supplement. But I can assure you that with 120 other wines to choose from, you're not really there's not really a need to do that unless you want a particular named champagne or a Super Tuscan Italian red. So it's the generosity that has really helped us grow on TripAdvisor, and the ease of selling this. I mean, I sell this every day, and it's so easy to sell because there are literally no restrictions. So yeah, that's really been a great sell for us. The spa is chargeable. I think was the spa mentioned that question, Olivia?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, yeah, the spa is chargeable. So if you're going to take a massage, it's approximately $100.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And we have another question, which is, which property would you say is the better for families versus honeymooners?
Yeah, well, I think the obvious part to that is that Emerald Faarufushi is smaller and quieter, and there are less guests, so probably perfect for a honeymooner. And Emerald Maldives is larger and has a much bigger kids club, so I would say it's probably more suited to families. But we have both doing both, and I think both appreciate both as well. I think when it comes to families, I already mentioned it, but that zero entry for children into the ocean is really a great benefit for Emerald Faarufushi. What I would recommend is that you try both, and that during that stay you offer a twin center, and people can see both environments, and that's really well appreciated. So my recommendation would be a twin center.
Great, thank you. And then we've got one final question, which is, could guests go from one property to the other for dinner, or is that not typically allowed?
No, it's not typically allowed. It's half an hour on a boat. That boat doesn't run effectively like a taxi. It runs more bespoke. And I think, if you're coming back in the dark, it's just not something we've ever offered. It's not something that we think is logistically feasible or enjoyable. So no, right now, we don't do day visits. We don't do dining visits. It's purely the twin center if people are staying. And why not, add a couple of nights on at the end of your trip to another resort. What a wonderful experience to take a journey across the atoll, to check into a new resort, same brand, same all-inclusive, leading hotels of the world. I think it's a really nice thing to do, maybe at the end of your trip to go to Emerald Faarufushi. But right now, we don't offer a one-off trip return.
Perfect. Great. Well, that's all the questions that we have. But if anyone does think of anything after the webinar, then please do feel free to reach out to me or Scott and check with us. And yeah, thanks so much, Scott, for joining us today and taking us through these two amazing properties. Actually, the Emerald Maldives property was, I think, my first one I ever went to in the Maldives. So very special for me. And yeah, hopefully I'll visit the Faarufushi soon as well, because it looks amazing and we keep getting the best feedback as well. So
please, you must. And anyone that's on the call, we really encourage you to try and come and see the resorts, because it's very hard to talk about it from a PowerPoint, but the service, the food and beverage, the beautiful reefs and beaches, please reach out to Hummingbird, and Let's get some great knowledge into the market. It was really a pleasure. Thank you, Olivia, for the opportunity, and thank you everyone else for your questions and for listening.
Great. Thanks so much, everyone, and we hope to see you next time. Thanks again, Scott.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.